as Taj Porter will stand in. And he takes the first pitch off the outside corner for a ball, and then Brown will spike one. 2 balls and no strikes. Dodger without a base runner, as I mentioned earlier. I spoke with Taj Porter before today's game because he's just coming out of high school. He'll be a freshman at Louisiana Lafayette next year as he swings and fouls one, and it might stay in play over by the T-Bolt's dugout, but it does not. It gets out of play. And 2 balls and 1 strike. I was talking to him. I wanted to find out a little bit more about him. There's not a whole lot you can find necessarily on high school players all the time, and coaches don't always get back to you when you send emails. So, I was talking to him, and I got him in a little bit of trouble with his teammates because I asked him if he had any like big moments in high school, like big plays or anything like that, memorable moments. And he turns one, hits it down the right field line, and that one's about 5 feet foul down that right field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Porter. And by that time, the other guys had started coming into the locker room, and you could tell he was a little embarrassed to answer. He was like, he didn't want to like brag on himself or anything. Well, he hit a grand slam in the high school tournament to send his team into the 3rd round of the high school tournament, and they haven't let it go, at least since I've heard. I haven't been down there with them in about like 2 hours, but they didn't let it go. They were busting on him a little bit, so I feel bad. It's the 2-2 pitch missing up and in, but I'm sure he'll get over it. 3-2 pitch on the way to Porter. Fastball in there. Porter takes it, and the Dodgers go down in order yet again, and I'm not jumping the gun this time. Connor Newcomb's going to take you for the next 3 innings. We're heading to the 4th. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball.
Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick as he gets set in the top of the 4th inning here between the Dodgers and the Thunderbolts. Wei-Pin Chang is still on the mound for the Dodgers. He's worked 3 scoreless innings. He's struck out 5 and allowed just the 1 hit. He goes into his 4th inning of work. We've been talking about a lot of off-speed stuff, not a very overpowering fastball, but he's been able to get it done either way. And the first batter he'll face is Carl Colbert here in the 4th. First pitch fastball misses off the inside corner for a ball. Colbert was one of those 5 strikeout victims so far in this game. He struck out swinging on a changeup in the dirt to end the 1st inning. Chang into his wind, and the 1-0 is a fastball that misses outside. The count's now 2-0. Chang's gotten behind multiple hitters, but being able to come back and get him even with some strikeouts, but hasn't been great with the first pitch strike so far tonight. Into his wind again, and the 2-0 is a fastball that hits off the arm of Colbert.
No, I think that was an optical illusion. I think it actually hit out in front of home plate.
Wow. That got us from up here. Looked like it maybe bounced up and maybe clipped him, but either way, nowhere near the strike zone, and the count's now 3-0 as Chang will have to work from way behind. Here comes his 3-0 delivery. Fastball that just misses the inside corner, and for the 2nd straight inning, Chang offers up a 4-pitch walk to start the inning.
Where was that? That honestly, of the pitches, obviously that was the best pitch, but that looked like it caught the strike zone to me. Obviously, I can't tell high low, but I liked it from here. It's not my job to call.
Now Cooper Williams in. The first pitch to him is fouled straight back, and interesting there by Williams. Start the inning with a 4-pitch walk, then he goes ahead hacking on the first pitch, but Chang now ahead 0-1. Williams at a New Mexico State University has a couple of teammates that he's playing against today with the Dodgers. Joey Ortiz out there at second, and then David Bellamy, who's been playing some games in left field and as the designated hitter, but is not in the Dodgers starting lineup today. For the Aggies this year, Williams appeared in 20 games and had 48 at-bats. He hit .250 on the season. When Chang's set, runner goes. The pitch is in the dirt and it gets away, and in there safely at second base with a stolen base is Carl Colbert.
Yeah, Christopher wasn't even going to have much of an opportunity right there as Colbert, huge jump off of Chang. He hasn't shown a great move over there to first base, and obviously the velocity having something to play with it as well.
Now Williams, the left-handed hitting DH, the 0-1 is a breaking ball in the dirt. That was actually the 1-1, so counts now 2-1 in the lefty-on-lefty matchup. Williams popped out to shortstop back in the second inning. That led off the second, his only at-bat so far, so he's 0 for 1 on the day. At New Mexico State, he didn't hit any homers for the Aggies, but did drive in 10 runs, worked 9 walks, and had 3 doubles. The 2-1 is grounded foul right past the Silver Spring Tacoma dugout, and the count's now 2-2. Chang again jams a hitter with the fastball there and got around on it, but was way too early, and the count's now 2-2.
Yeah, you're starting to see a little bit more solid contact from these SS Tacoma hitters. So I don't think Chang's going to be long for this ball game.
The 2-2 is a breaking ball in the dirt. Good stop from Christopher, and the count's full 3-2. Chang looking to avoid another walk here that would put the first 2 runners on base. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Game tied 0-0. Only 1 hit on the board, and that's for the Thunderbolts. The payoff pitch in the dirt, ball 4, and Chang has walked the first 2 batters of this 4th inning. Christopher's going to go out and have a talk with his left-handed pitcher here as he's given a free pass to the first 2 batters. It's going to be Jimmy Kane, the third baseman, stepping in for the Thunderbolts. We'll see if he possibly lays down a sacrifice bunt here with first and second and nobody out. He did reach on an error back in the second with 1 out. He grounded one over to third base. Taj Porter couldn't come up with it. It rolled into left field, and then Kane, hustling out of the box, made it all the way to second on a 2-base error. He then advanced to third on a wild pitch, but Thunderbolts couldn't bring him in with 1 out. His first pitch squares to bunt, gets it down the third base line. Porter will let it roll, and it goes foul.
Yeah, that didn't necessarily look like a sacrifice. Looked like he might have been trying to get on base there. I mean, obviously that's the best of both worlds if you can do it. But pretty good bunt, ends up rolling foul.
Yeah, squaring a little late there was Kane and really taking off on the pitch. So usually on a sacrifice you'll see hitters give themselves up a little earlier.
Some action for the Dodgers down in their bullpen. Alex Parker warming up.
Chang came set and then steps off again. Is looking to get an out here any way he can and should be happy if the Thunderbolts give him one with a sacrifice bunt. Now it looks like it's going to be a visit to the mound. Christopher will head out there. Let's see if they'll make a change. As you said, Parker warming in the bullpen, but it doesn't look like he's getting too hot yet.
No, just Ed Chestnut, not just Ed Chestnut, but Ed Chestnut, the pitching coach, going out. Very rarely do you see them make the change. So this could be the stall tactic that you see just to get Parker out there. You'll probably see Chang pitch to Kane, and that might be it, unless he can get out of this with a double play.
So Jimmy Kane still at the plate, behind in the count, 0-1. Kane just finished up his freshman year at Millersville. Although is a local product of Elkridge, Maryland, went to Howard High School. Appeared in 50 games at Millersville in his freshman year at 155 at-bats. He hit .265 with a .331 on-base percentage. Drove 1 ball out of the ballpark. Chang set the 0-1 as he squares again, pops it up. It's caught by Chang. He'll turn to throw to first, but nobody's covering the bag. But still a good play by the pitcher to get one out, and he doesn't allow the runners to advance.
Yeah, just a little slow getting to the bags there. Is if we had guys there, we had outs at both places, and here comes Derek Brown. That's going to do it for Wei-Pin Chiang.
Yeah, so a tough break there for the Dodgers as the wheel play was on. Grove was coming in, and it was a long run for Ortiz to try and get over there to the bag, and nobody could get there. As also James was maybe shading towards third, really vacating second, so the Dodgers didn't have a play. But there'll be a pitching change here for the Dodgers as Chang's day is over. He goes 3 1/3. Doesn't give up anything, but the 2 runners on base, his responsibility. And in comes the righty for the Dodgers. It looks like it's going to be Alex Parker. We'll head to a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll let you know about Parker as the Dodgers look to get out of this 4th inning with the score tied at 0. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick as we sit in the top of the 4th inning between the Dodgers and the Thunderbolts, and it's a new pitcher for the Baltimore Dodgers. It will be the right-hander out of Towson, Alex Parker, a rising sophomore for the Tigers this upcoming season. He made 7 appearances this season for Towson and really was a full-time reliever. 7 appearances, 7 1/3 innings pitched, so really rarely ever went more than an inning. And well, the ERA was pretty inflated as he struggled in his first year up in Towson, a 15.95 ERA. He allowed 10 hits and 13 earned runs over those 7 1/3 innings, struck out just 3 and walked 9. Struggled with the hit by pitch as well, hit 5 batters in just over 7 innings, and he'll face left-handed hitting Ace Felder with runners on first and second, and 1 out here in the top of the 4th with the game tied 0-0. As Parker comes set, the first pitch is a fastball that misses up and in for ball 1. Parker setting himself on the first base side of the pitching rubber as Taj Porter even with the bag over at third. Pretty straight up the middle are Ortiz and James, and of course Grove back over at first base with 2 runners on and 1 out. Parker set, the 0-1 is lined into right field. McElwain going back towards the track, looks up, he's not going to get there, it's off the wall. 1 run in to score easily. Here comes the second runner to the plate, as into third with a 2 RBI triple. The third of the plate is in time for the out. The Dodgers cut the run off at home. As in with a triple is Felder, but the second runner, Williams, is out at the plate on a perfect relay by the Dodgers, and the run scores, but there's now 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, fantastic job there by Ortiz. A great throw. You got to give credit to McElwain there as well. Obviously getting the ball quickly to Ortiz. Ortiz making the quick turn and the throw to Christopher at the plate, the 9-4-3 put out to cut down that second run.
Now the first pitch from Parker, line down the third base line, fair ball. That's going to score the run, and it's now 2-0 as he'll dig for second base. And an RBI double down the line for Chase Ragsdale makes it 2-0 T-Bolts. Getting back to that throw out at the plate, the relay from the Dodgers was so perfect it almost fooled me. Thought the run was in easily, that second run, but perfectly played relay there, and the Dodgers get the second out at the plate. But that first pitch from Ragsdale, he lined into left field hard past the diving Porter, and it's now 2-0.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I actually, when I saw where that ball landed, I didn't think there was any chance they were going to be able to cut down that second runner. but obviously great relay by the Dodgers.
Now the first pitch is bounced, but good stop by Christopher as he gets to it and keeps the runner at second as he'll face Chu at the plate.
Yeah, Zhu hasn't seen a strike yet in today's ballgame. Walked on 4 pitches in the first delivery to him from Parker in the dirt.
Now Parker comes set with the 1-0, and that's in the dirt again as Christopher makes another stop and keeps the runner at second base.
You have to wonder if those first 2 hard-hit extra base hits, hard-hit balls off of Parker has got him a little timid to coming into the strike zone.
A couple of fastballs have been grooved in this inning by Parker, and Felder and Ragsdale both got a handle on them and drove in runs. Now the 2-0 pitch misses way outside, and it's 3-0 as Zhu, who drew a 4-pitch walk to lead off the third inning, is now looking at the same exact scenario here as the 9-hitter. You'd think the Dodgers would look to attack the number 9 guy a little more, but haven't been able to find the strike zone against T-Bolt second baseman. So 3-0, and that's right there for strike 1 as he finally sees a strike in this game on his 8th pitch.
More action for the Dodgers down in their bullpen. Looks like Josh Hedgeka warming up.
Hedgeka got the start in the home opener for the Dodgers, their 1-0 win last Tuesday against the Redbirds. 3-0 is lined up the middle. Over is Ortiz on 3 hops. Throw to first is in time, and Parker gets out of the inning, but not before. An RBI triple is hit out there by Ace Felder and then followed up by an RBI double down the line from Chase Ragsdale. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Joe Cannon Stadium. It's the T-Bolts 2 and the Dodgers 0. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick in the bottom of the 4th inning is after no runs were scored in the first 3, the SS Tacoma Thunderbolts got 2 in the top of the 4th inning. One of them at this point charged to Wei Pin Cheng, who left after 3 1/3 innings pitched, and Alex Parker came in and got hit around a little bit. And now Joey Ortiz up for the second time. First pitch to him is a fastball from William Brown that misses well up high for ball 1. Ortiz 0 for 1, as is every single Dodger so far today. The 1-0 is popped high into left field. Going back is the shortstop Colbert, now called off by Stonehouse, who comes in and makes the play, and there's one away.
Yeah, at the very least, we need to try and work a walk here in this ball game, as Dodgers currently, imperfect. The Dodgers are imperfect, as William Brown has been perfect through 3 1/3.
So now Nick Ortega in. He grounded out to second. He was the second batter of the first inning. First pitch from Brown. He fouls it straight back, and the count is now 0-1. Dodgers, as you said, just looking to break through, get their first base runner off of the righty William Brown. The 0-1 is a breaking ball that catches all the plate, and the count's now 0-2. Now to the wind, the 0-2 pitch in the dirt, and it gets away, and the count's now 1-2.
Missed their opportunity right there. Is that ball getting over towards the Dodger dugout? That could have been a runner. Just swing at that, and you're on first. We saw that happen back on Wednesday.
Now the 1-2 fouled off towards the Tacoma dugout as it may have clipped the shin guard of the catcher there. It looks like Klepsig's okay, and the count remains 1-2. Now Brown into his wind. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on the foul tip, strike 3. And there's 2 down here in the 4th.
Yeah, had Ortega way out in front on that one. Didn't put on his best swing. And down on strikes. That's just the second strikeout of the game for Brown.
So now it's going to be Jaron Shelby, who flew out to right field back in the first. First pitch, he grounds foul over towards the Dodger bullpen.
Chang,
here's the pitch, and it almost runs in and hits Shelby, but instead we'll just miss inside for ball 1.
Despite all the troubles that Chang seemed to be in, 3 1/3, just the 1 hit and 1 run. Struck out 5 and just walked 2.
Swing and a miss on the 1-1, and the count's now 1-2.
So not a bad outing, just a short one for Chang.
Now Brown into the windup, and the pitch to Shelby. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Dodgers go down in order yet again here in the 4th. We'll head to the 5th inning as William Brown's working on a little perfecto here through 4 as his Thunderbolts lead the Dodgers 2-0. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick as we're set to go here in the top of the 5th inning. Another new pitcher for the Dodgers. Wei-Pin Chang worked 3 1/3. Alex Parker finished off the 4th, and now it's going to be the submariner Josh Hedgeka pitching for the Dodgers. Hedgeka last appeared in his, only appearance of the season in the season opener for the Dodgers last Tuesday right here at Joe Cannon Stadium against the Baltimore Redbirds. Hedgeka got the start, lasted 5 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits but no runs, struck out 6 and walked 3. The Dodgers got that 1-0 win over the Redbirds to start their season at Joe Cannon Stadium 1-0. Now they sit 1-1 here at home on the year as Hedgeka will work at least the 6th inning here, but he can be extended and he'll face the top of the lineup in Garrett Stonehouse. First pitch is lined to shortstop, James over. He fields it, throws on the run, and it's in time for out number 1.
Great play there by James as he picks that one up on the run. Seamless running throw on the money to Connor Grove to retire the out.
So now Carson Klepsig steps in. He faced Chang twice in this game. He singled back in the first and then flew out softly to center field in the third. He's 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch from Hedgeka is fouled down the first baseline. The count's now 0-1.
And actually got Shamoy Christopher on the legs, but he didn't really even show it.
Hedgeka set the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good slider there, running away from the righty, and the count's now 0-2. Klepsig's the sophomore catcher out of Ole Miss. Only appeared in 6 games this year for the Rebels, going 0 for 3. He did, however, reach base twice and score both times. The 0-2 is lined into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit and go towards the corner. McElwain over. He's up with it. Digging for second is the catcher. The throw is not in time. A 1-out double for Carson Klepsig. And a runner in scoring position here for the T-Bolts.
I saw McElwain coming over and knowing who's out there in right field when he turned to throw. That's a long throw, but we obviously know he's got an arm being a D1 starting quarterback. Just a little bit offline, or I think he's got the catcher running there if it's on the money. But we're talking about a, 70-yard throw or so?
Now Fitzsimmons up, and he fouls one straight back into the stands, and the count's now 0-1.
And not the easiest to be accurate from that distance.
Hedgeka comes set with the runner on second. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball that's poured in there on the outside corner, and the count is now 0-2. Hedgeka, as we said, comes from, well, down under, as his warm-up song says, kind of has his right foot on the first base side of the rubber, but then the left foot kind of staggered out in front all the way pointing towards third base. The 0-2 runs way outside, gets away from Christopher all the way to the backstop, and Klepsig's going to advance to third with only one away. It's going to go down as a wild pitch on Josh Hedgeka.
Dodgers pitchers not being their own best friends this year. A lot of wild pitches. I don't have the exact stats in front of me, but it was a difficult game last Wednesday against the Aces with balls getting past the catcher.
Hedgeka set again as the infield is in for the Dodgers. The 1-2, swing and a miss on the slider. He gets the big strikeout, and there's 2 away.
Great pitch there by Hedgeka. Off speed, as you said, the slider getting Fitzsimmons way out in front.
So now he'll face Carl Colbert. He struck out in the first and then walked and came around to score back in the fourth. See if Hedgeka can work his way out of this inning. First pitch is a fastball in there for a called strike. Hedgeka obviously would like the strikeout, but any out will do here with 2 outs and a runner standing on third. Infield obviously way back for the Dodgers, looking to get the out any way they can. Outfield pretty straight up. Now Hedgeka's set. Here comes the 0-1. Slider line foul, and he's quickly ahead 0-2.
Yeah, Colbert looking like he maybe just trying to fight that one off, maybe go the other way, as we saw Klepsig do with his first at bat, with his double down the right field line. Very difficult to get a read, as we've mentioned in the past with the submarine delivery. So when it takes you a minute to get that decision, you're going to be late, and slapping it the other way is sometimes your best option.
Yeah, Colbert kind of stepping out, now coming back in. The pitch is in the dirt. Good stop from Christopher. He can't find it, but now he sees it in front of home plate. And luckily for him, although he didn't see it with the ball sitting right in front of home, there's no way Klepsig's going to chance it running in from third base towards home, and he'll stay right where he is.
The instinct almost took over for me. In my brain, I was starting to yell, front, 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 front. And it probably would have been very loud for everybody watching at home.
Now set. The 1-2 is a slider that runs way outside. Good take there by Colbert. That thing started on the outside corner and started snaking its way into the left-handed batter's box, but he was able to lay off. And now the deuces are wild, 2-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Dodgers trailing 2-0, but Josh Hedgeka looking to keep the score right there. Now comes set, the 2-2. Fastball line foul down the right field line, and we'll do it again.
A little bit late on the fastball was Colbert. So I think if you can bring one in on the hands here with another fastball would be the best possible situation here for Hedgeka. If he can locate on the inside corner, as Christopher out to talk to his pitcher, Colbert has been late on a few pitches. If he can come in with that heat on the inside corner and locate, I think he's going to be able to get Colbert here.
So Hedgeka looking for the out any way he can get it. Infield still back for the Dodgers in the top of the 5th inning. Colbert out of South Carolina, Beaufort. The 2-2. Fouled straight back, and we'll do it again.
And that's exactly what they tried to do. They went up and in, and Colbert just got a piece of it and fouled it back to the screen. Good pitch there by Hedgeka, and even better piece of hitting by Colbert.
Hedgeka likes to work quickly, as we saw on that first start last Tuesday, and they've called a balk. Josh Hedgeka balks in the run from third, and after all that work to keep him there, he flinches in the set, and it's now 3-0 T-Bolts. The second balk called on the Dodgers today. And it comes at the worst time as the score is now 3-0 as Hedgeka sets. The 2-2 is fouled back, and we'll do it again right there.
And we'll have to obviously get that explanation from Derek Brown after today's game, because this time I was watching the whole thing, so I don't know what happened.
3-2
what the call
swing
was.
And a miss, strike 3 on the slider. So we couldn't quite tell what the balk was for, but Hedgeka does get his strikeout, but not before the double from Klepsig. He gets to third on the wild pitch and comes home on the balk. We're halfway home here at Joe Cannon Stadium as we head to the bottom of the 5th. It's the Thunderbolts 3 and the Dodgers 0. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick as we're in the bottom of the 5th inning here at Joe Cannon Stadium. The Dodgers trailing the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts 3-0 here on this warm Monday night. For the T-Bolts, it was scoreless through 3 innings, but they got 2 in the 4th and now 1 in the 5th as they have a 3-0 lead as William Brown back out there, and the first pitch to Grove is a fastball that misses off the inside corner for ball 1.
We might stop letting you call innings, Connor, if teams keep scoring on your play-by-play.
Now here's the 1-0 to Grove, and that's a fastball that does catch the inside corner this time, and now it's 1-1. Well, the Dodgers here in the 5th still looking for their first base runner. 12 up, 12 down so far for the righty, William Brown. And the 1-1 is lined into center field. That's popped up, and that's towards third base. Catcher and third baseman coming over, and it'll land out of play. Another ball that fooled me a little bit. Looked like Grove got a lot more of it than he really did. It just aimlessly landed foul and out of play.
That landed over by the snake ramp over on the behind the Dodger dugout.
So now a 1-2 count to the Dodger first baseman, Connor Grove, of Judson University. Here comes that 1-2, and it's in the dirt. Grove able to lay off, and the count evens up 2-2.
Yeah, good take there by Grove. I know that ball bounced in front of the plate, but sometimes you just get so anxious, especially in a game where you haven't had a base runner. You just really are pressing.
2-2, that's lined into left field. Going back on it is Stonehouse. Going back, and it's over his head. up against the wall. Grove has a leadoff double here in the 5th inning, and the Baltimore Dodgers finally break through. They've got their first base runner, and it's a leadoff double in the 5th.
See, you say perfect game, you say no hitter enough, get it done. Although, it usually only works when you talk about your own team that way. But here, Connor Grove getting a hold of one, absolutely crushing it out into left center. The Dodgers got a runner.
First pitch to McElwain, who's up now, is a fastball that misses outside for ball 1. Grove got a lot of that ball. Might be out in most ballparks, but hit it to the deep part in left center field. Throw back to second. He's just back in there in time. Good move there from Brown, but Grove just got his hand back in there. So I was saying a lot of parks that ball's out, but here at Joe Cannon Stadium, just a double off the wall. Now Brown set, looking back. The 1-0 is lined down the third base line, and it's a foul ball. McElwain just missing extra bases there, and the count evens up at 1-1. McElwain last season was just a football player at South Carolina. Didn't play baseball in the spring for the Gamecocks. And he'll call time at the plate as Brown was taking far too long to deliver. Now Brown comes set again. Looking in, the 1-1 is grounded foul into the Tacoma dugout, and looks like it might have hit somebody over there, but everybody seems okay. McElwain graduated high school early so he could play his first season of baseball at South Carolina in the spring. He graduated in the winter, went down to Carolina and played baseball in the spring, but only got 10 at-bats as an outfielder for the Gamecocks. 1-2 is pop foul right behind us, and the count stays 1-2. He then came back after not playing summer baseball. He just worked on football over the summer, and in his first football season, he battled for the starting quarterback position. He got in the first 2 games, ended up starting games 3 through 5 for the Gamecocks. Throw back to second on a pickoff is not in time. It gets by, but doesn't even roll into the outfield grass as Grove will stay where he is.
It's a bit of an awkward move there by Brown, as normally you see a lefty step off and throw to first. He tried to just step off and right-hand throw, push back to second. I don't know if you can catch anybody by enough surprise to get him with that move.
Now set, another 1-2 is a breaking ball that's in there on the outside corner, called strike 3. Good bend on that pitch from Brown, and there's one away in the 5th.
After having just 1 strikeout in the first 3 innings, 3 strikeouts here through 1 1/3 for the last 1 1/3 for Brown.
He's recorded 3 consecutive outs via the strikeout as he'll face the Dodgers shortstop Austin James. He comes set. First pitch to him is a fastball that's popped foul down the first base line. James 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to shortstop back in the 2nd inning as, well, everybody except for Connor Grove right now has an 0 for the Dodgers as Grove picked up the Dodgers' first hit and first base runner to lead off this 5th inning with a deep double to the left center field gap, but Brandon McElwain struck out for the first out, so Grove's still stranded there. Now the 0-1 to James is a fastball that misses up high for ball 1. James out of the State College of Florida, played right alongside his center fielder, Jaron Shelby. 1-1 is popped into the air down the first base line. The first baseman, Fitzsimmons, going over up against the fence. He has room, and he dropped the ball. Fitzsimmons on the warning track down there, right up against the fence. He had room, reached up, the ball hit his glove, but it popped out, and new life at the plate for Austin James.
So that could be a very big play there as the error on the first baseman, Fitzsimmons. And we'll see if James can make them pay for that one.
Now Brown set. The 1-2 to James is a breaking ball in the dirt, and the count evens up 2-2. Now James and Shelby, both at State College of Florida, they have a teammate at State College of Florida who is on this Thunderbolts roster but is not here today, Ryan Karstetter. He actually most likely get drafted in one of the first 6 or 7 rounds of this week's MLB draft. Now Brown set, the 2-2 misses up high, and the count's full 3-2. Carstetter hit .363 this season down at State College of Florida, had 5 home runs and 49 RBIs. The only guy on the team with a better batting average than both Shelby and James. Now the payoff pitch is a fastball that misses up high for ball 4. Good at bat there by James after he got new life on the error down the line. And there's 2 on with 1 out for the Dodgers here in the 5th.
Now batting, the catcher from Tennessee Wesleyan College, number 14, Shamoy Christopher.
Shamoy Christopher up from the left side of the plate. He put a drive into one his first at bat. Ended up being a fly out to right, but it went almost to the warning track. And looks like there'll be a visit at the mound here for the T-Bolts as William Brown, after retiring the first 12 batters he faced through 4 innings, has given up a double and a walk with 1 out. Here in the 5th inning, as the Dodgers will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Christopher, who, as I said, hit one to the warning track out there in right field. He's got the power to leave the ballpark and tie the game.
Not a stall tactic. Not much chance that Brown's going to be leaving the game anytime soon, as not a single pitcher has been throwing in the T-Bolts bullpen. But nonetheless, maybe just it looks like a little bit of coaching actually going out there on the mound. Marcus Johnson, the pitching coach, kind of going over plant foot. He was just mimicking a pitch there for Brown. So maybe some mechanical issues that he spotted during that walk.
Yeah, Johnson, the pitching coach, also the pitching coach at local West Springfield High School here in Maryland, and he played his college baseball at UNLV. So now it's Christopher versus Brown. He comes set with 2 men on. The first pitch is a fastball that's popped high into the air behind home plate. Going back is Klepsig, but that might hit on top of us, and I'm sure you heard the sound there as the count's now 0-1.
Yeah, that one's a little bit more like it. That one was probably right on top of us here in this metal crow's nest that we've got here at Joe Cannon.
Now Brown set, looking back at second. The 0-1 is a fastball that misses outside for ball 1. Christopher looking for the big hit that has really eluded the Dodgers in every game except for, well, really for last night when they did score 5 runs in the 3rd inning. Coming into last night's game, the Dodgers 3 for 56 with runners in scoring position. Now the 1-1 to Christopher is a fastball. He tried to paint the outside corner, but just missed, and the count's now 2-1, so Christopher can look for a good pitch to hit here ahead in the count. Brown set again, looking back at second. The 2-1. Fastball popped high into the air down the first base line. We'll see if Fitzsimmons gets another chance, but he will not as it lands past that wall and goes out of play.
Christopher with a very big uppercut type swing. We've seen a lot of high pop-ups from him, including the ball he hit out to the warning track out in right field in his first at bat. Maybe something that he'll be looking to get a little bit shorter of a swing and try and drive the ball here.
So now counts even 2-2, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Nice job to keep it away from Christopher there by Brown, and there's 2 away. So now Brown will look to work out of this inning as he faces Brian Tago.
I don't know if you noticed Christopher actually choking up on the bat there, trying to shorten up on the swing, but he didn't really take a shorter swing. It just made the bat a little bit shorter for him.
First pitch to Tago is a fastball that misses outside for ball 1. Tago hitting from the left side here, the DH today for the Dodgers. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. That happened back in the 3rd inning. Now Brown set, looking back. The 1-0. That's lined into right field. Going back is Ragsdale. He's at the track. It's over his head and off the wall. 1 run in to score easily. Here comes the second runner to the plate. Here's the relay throw. It is to third in time for the out, but the run's going to score in time. So gunned down at third is Brian Tago, but not before 2 runs score for the Dodgers, and they cut into the lead. But that will end the inning. We're through 5 here at Joe Cannon Stadium as we head to the 6th. It's the Thunderbolts 3 and the Dodgers 2. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball.
Now batting. Designated hitter from New Mexico State University, number 34.
Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick in the 6th inning. Well, the Dodgers gave up 2 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th to go down 3-0, but come back with 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th after they had been no hit. And, well, it was a perfect game working for Brown through 4, 12 up, 12 down, but got hit around a little bit in the 5th by the Dodgers, and they scored 2 runs. But throwing out at third base to end the inning was Brian Tago on his 2 RBI double. Josh Hedgeka's still in. The first pitch is grounded to short. James up with it on 2 hops. Throws on to first in time for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out for the submarine hurler for the Dodgers.
Scaring me a little bit there was James. I looked down. I was getting ready to write it. And I was like, you know what? Last time I did that, there was an issue, so let me wait. And he still hadn't thrown the ball by the time I looked up, man. He's scaring me out here.
Just taking his time. He knew how much time he had with the slow-running Cooper Williams going down to first, and he made the play. So now Jimmy Kane up, who's 0 for 2 on the day, but has been on base once, reached on an error in the 2nd. First pitch from Hedgeka is fouled straight back, and the count is now 0-1. Hedgeka continuing to work fast, as he always does. He came in the 5th inning, gave up a run, but it was a very unfortunate one. After a 1-out double, runner went to third on a wild pitch, and then came home on a balk that occurred with 2 outs and a 2-2 count. Hedgeka was 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. 0-1 is lined into left field for a base hit. So Kane's on for the 2nd time today. He's got a 1-out single in the 6th. So in steps Ace Felder, who has an RBI on the day. He lined a triple out to right field last time. He would have had 2 RBIs, but a perfect relay from the Dodgers cut down Cooper Williams at the plate for the out, but he still did drive in 1 and made it a 2-0 lead. First pitch from Hedgeka. He squares to bunt, then pulls it back. And the count's 1-0. That fastball missed outside there as Felder maybe looking to advance the runner. That would get him to second base with 2 down. And Chase Ragsdale coming up, who already has driven in a run with an RBI double in the 4th. Hedgeka taking a little longer than usual, and time is called at the plate. Hedgeka throws over to first now, and the ball gets away from Grove, but the runner's going to stay right where he is.
I don't think the ball was never put back into play when he threw over, so.
Maybe the reason why the runner over there, Jimmy Kane, did not leave the base. Also, it looked like that throw might have clipped him a little bit, so trying to shake that off. But ball was never in play, so it's almost like that didn't happen. As Hedgeka gets back on the mound, the submarine pitcher from Johns Hopkins University was the closer for the Blue Jays this season. 1-0 is a fastball. He tried to paint the outside corner, but it just missed. Interesting strike zone tonight. Looked like against the righties, that outside corner has been extended a little bit, but against the lefties, not so much. The umpire looks to be playing just the blacks of the plate there.
That one was a very good pitch.
2-0 is a breaking ball that's fisted off out of play. That was a good change of speeds from Hedgeka. Had Felder fooled at the plate, and the count is now 2-1. Felder 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a triple. 1-1 is bunted foul, and the count's now 2-2.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to get that one of those ones out in the no man's land towards second base or short for a base hit. That definitely wasn't a bunt attempt to try and move the runner over, as he kind of jabbed at it. Looked like he was going to try and get a little bit of velocity on the ball coming in.
Felder just finishing up his sophomore season at Grambling State University. Now Hedgeka set, looks in, and the 2-2. Fastball lined into right field, base hit. Rounding second is Kane. He's looking for third, but he'll stop right where he is. And it's 2 on, 1 out here for the Thunderbolts in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, Felder able to get his bat on that, get that through the hole on the right side, moving that runner up into scoring position for Chase Ragsdale.
So Ragsdale already with the RBI double back in the 4th. He also struck out in the 2nd, so 1 for 2 on the day. Let's see what he can do here against the Submarine righty, Josh Hedgeka. First and second, 1 out in the top of the 6th. Dodgers trailing the Thunderbolts 3-2 here at Joe Cannon Stadium. Dodgers coming in at 2-5, the T-Bolts at 2-4. First pitch fastball right down the middle, 4-1. Kind of a half check swing from Ragsdale. Didn't look like he wanted any part of that pitch. And it's strike 1. Ragsdale finishing up his freshman season up at Harford Community College in Aberdeen, Maryland. Now the 0-1, good slider. Ragsdale went around too far on the pitch that tailed way out of the zone, and the count's now 0-2.
Yeah, I don't think Ragsdale liked that call, but I think you could ask anybody in the stadium. He went well past the normal check swing area.
Yeah, Hedgeka using the pitch there that really is what works out for Submarine guys, that frisbee slider that kind of comes in slow in the mid or low 70s, and then at the last second goes in that frisbee motion and breaks straight away from the righties. 0-2 fastball paints the outside corner for a called strike 3. So Hedgeka maybe had him looking off speed there, and he goes with the heat for out number 2.
It's a good piece of pitching there by Hedgeka. As you mentioned, come in slow. We actually heard Watson talking about it before today's game. If you get a chance to check out our YouTube page, if you're not watching us on YouTube already, check out the interviews before today's game. Watson talked about pitching backwards in his last start. As a perfect example there by Hedgeka.
So now it's going to be Chu who looks to keep the inning alive. And the first pitch is a frisbee slider that didn't really frisbee as much as he wanted. Couldn't catch the outside corner and misses for ball 1. Hedgeka had runners on base with 2 outs in the last inning, but balked the runner home from third. Gave the third run to the Thunderbolts. The 1-0 is a fastball. He swings right through it. Good heat there from Hedgeka, and the count's now 1-1.
And Zhu kind of corkscrewing himself into the ground there. I don't know if he was trying to do a little Ichiro-type running swing almost. He got himself all turned around.
Runners on first and second here for the T-Bolts as Hedgeka comes set. Here's the 1-1. Slider lined into left field. No, a leaping catch. Taj Porter says thank you very much as he leaps and takes away a hit from the T-Bolts second baseman. We will head to the bottom of the 6th as Hedgeka works his way out and puts up a 0 in the top half. Here at Joe Cannon Stadium, it's the Thunderbolts 3 and the Dodgers 2. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dodgers scored 2 in the bottom of the 5th, and Hedgeka got the big 0 in the top of the 6th with the help of a leaping catch by Taj Porter to end the inning and keep a run off the board. And now, as it always seems to happen, he leads off the next half inning. First pitch from Brown. Fastball he pops high into the air behind home plate. Going back on it is Klepsig, but he runs out of room, and it's out of play.
Obviously, Taj's teammates, as I talked about earlier, not on his back too much as he's able to get up and make that catch over at third base. Or he's just really strong.
So it's still William Brown on the mound, who retired the first 12 but then gave up 2 runs in the 5th. The 0-1 is lined back up against the screen, and the count is quickly 0-2 against the 9-hole hitter for the Dodgers, Taj Porter. Because Brown was working so quickly, we're in the 6th, but Porter only coming to the plate for the 2nd time. He struck out looking on a 3-2 pitch that ended the 3rd inning. Now the 0-2, fastball misses below the knees, counts now 1-2 to the third baseman. Porter, an incoming freshman, will be this year at Louisiana Lafayette. Really one of the youngest players here in the Cal Ripken League. The 1-2 is a fastball that misses just off the outside corner, as I mentioned before. Not as much leeway on the outside corner against left-handed hitters here for the pitchers today, and the count's even 2-2. And here's the pitch. Fastball swing and a miss, strike 3. Brown gets another K, and there's one away in the 6th.
Now batting, second baseman from New Mexico State University, number 1, Joey Ortiz.
Now Joey Ortiz up. He's flown out twice in this game, once to right in the 1st and then to left in the 4th. First pitch from Brown. He lines it into center field. Coming in on it is Felder, but he'll get there and make the catch. So now 2 away quickly here in the 6th inning. So number 2 hitter Nick Ortega steps in.
From Creighton University, number 33, Nick Ortega.
Joey Ortiz hitting that one really hard, but Felder able to make the catch and unfortunately keeping the Dodgers off the bases.
So here's Ortega. First pitch to him is a fastball that's in the dirt, misses for ball 1. Ortega 0 for 2 on the day. He grounded out to second back in the 1st inning, then struck out swinging in the 4th. The 1-0, fastball fouled back towards us. It's off the netting, and the count's 1-1. Ortega out of Tampa, Florida, but decided to play his college baseball in Creighton, out in Nebraska. He just finished up a freshman year that saw him appear in 18 games. 1-1 is in the dirt, ball 2. Ortega, interesting stat line for just 18 games. He had 6 official at-bats, just got 1 hit, but he did come to the plate 13 times because although he had 1 hit, he drew 6 walks and was hit by a pitch. So now the 2-1 is misses low. It's now 3-1. Not something you usually see, but it's a lot easier with minimal plate appearances. He actually reached base more times with the combined walks and hit by pitches than he had official at-bats. 3-1 to Ortega's, grounded up the middle, past the pitcher, but the second baseman, Shu, is there. He bobbles it and can't make the play, so it looks like it would have been a sure out to end the inning, but Shu can't come up with it over at second, and the Dodgers have a 2-out base runner.
Center fielder from the State College of Florida, number 30, Jaron Shelby.
So now Jaron Shelby will step in, another guy who's 0 for 2 today, flew out to right in the 1st and then struck out swinging to end the 4th. Shelby out of the State College of Florida as the throw over to first to try and get Ortega. Just barely does Ortega get back to the bag. That was a very close play over there at first. Good scoop and tag by Fitzsimmons and a good move from Brown, but not in time. Throws there again. Another good scoop by Fitzsimmons. It almost gets away, but he was able to knock it down and keep the ball just a couple feet from the bag. Ortega kind of took off a little bit, took 2 steps, and then scampered back as he'll stay at first. Back-to-back quick moves from the righty, William Brown. Now comes set with that kind of staggered set motion. First pitch to Shelby is a fastball that runs up in on his hands, and the count's now 1-0.
Yeah, just wondering if this is an opportunity here to have the Dodgers put a runner in motion, as they actually showed to be very aggressive on the base pass against the Grays this past week.
That pitch is popped up behind home plate. Going back is Klepsig towards the Tacoma dugout. Reaches out, and he makes the catch just in front of the dugout. So getting out of it and working around the error is the starting pitcher, William Brown. So we're through 6 here at Joe Cannon Stadium. When we come back, I'll hand the play-by-play duties back over to Rob Stadnick, and he'll take you the rest of the way. But as we head to the 7th here at the Joe, it's the Thunderbolts 3 and the Dodgers 2. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball.
Back to Joe Cannon Stadium. I am Rob Stadnick. Connor Newcomb doing a fantastic job in the middle innings. I'm going to take you home, well, we hope home, through the 9. If we go to extras, as long as the Dodgers win, it doesn't really matter. The Dodgers trailing here by a score of 3-2 as we get started in the top of the 7th inning. Top of the order for the T-Bolts as Garrett Stonehouse standing in and rolling one foul down the third baseline. Stonehouse was grounded out twice, and he struck out back in the third. And checks his swing and takes one down low here from Hedgka. Hedgka starting his 3rd full inning of work. Did allow the 1 run in the 5th. That is the difference in the ball game, and a swing and a miss. Stonehouse way out in front of the breaking ball from Hedgka. Dodger outfield straight away for this righty-righty matchup as the 1-1 delivery. On the ground towards second. Ortiz there. He'll make the play to first, and 1 away in the 7th.
Now batting. Catcher.
Joey Ortiz, smooth as always over at second base. Really a slow roller, but he took it on the perfect timing, gobbled it up right into the hands and right over to first base to get the first out of the inning.
And that'll bring Carson Klepsig to the plate. Klepsig with a double his last time off of Hedgka. A bit of a slap down the right field line, and he was just able to get into second base on a little bit wide of a throw from McElwain. Tried to throw from the 310 sign down there in the right field corner all the way into second base. A swing and a miss on the first delivery. No balls and 1 strike. And now a chopper foul over by our cameraman, Chris Pushart, over there, and David Cranston, our videographer. Just not too much flinching over there either, so I'm pretty impressed. They're over there. There's a little chain link fence that they're behind, but the ball still can get over top of it. Save the equipment.
It's all for the perfect shot.
Exactly. 0-2 pitch on the outside corner, strike 3, as you mentioned. Well, before that, Chamoy Christopher almost took the batter's head off on the throw down to third, but as you mentioned, that outside corner seems to be a little bit more liberal. That one was a good pitch. That one did catch the corner, maybe just a touch off the outside, but it seems like you don't get that call on the outside corner against lefties. And breaking ball, good check of the swing by Michael Fitzsimmons now standing in.
Interesting thing from Hedgka. Looks like his fastball from the submarine angle has more velocity on it than that Chang fastball as the starter today for the Dodgers.
Yeah, Chang wasn't exactly bringing the heat for the Dodgers to begin the game, but overall effective in his 3 1/3 innings of work. Just the 1 hit and the 1 run. The second pitch will miss as well to Fitzsimmons, and a swing and a miss on the 2-0 brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike.
But I think overall for Chang, I think him Ed Chestnut and Derek Brown will all be very happy with that outing. Went 3 1/3, just gave up the 1 run. Was able to get 5 Ks too, which was pretty surprising.
2-1 pitch, missing the outside corner, and Hedgeka, I think, trying to push the limits on that outside edge. You heard the Dodger dugout wanting that pitch, but very good view here from our perspective as that miss. A little looper over towards third, actually a chopper, excuse me, as Porter picks it up, throw to first is in the dirt, and Grove cannot scoop it. Heading down to second base is Fitzsimmons, and that'll be an error on the third baseman, Taj Porter, allowing Fitzsimmons to get to second base.
Yeah, it's a tough play over there for Grove as Porter tried to throw off his back foot. He one-hopped it. And, it's really an interesting decision over there at first, especially when the ball's on your glove side. And with nobody on base, you can go for the big pick as Grove did. But if it gets by you, you're letting that runner advance to second instead of just trying to block it down and keep him at first. Grove went for the out, did not succeed, however, and now a runner in scoring position.
With the dangerous Carl Colbert standing in, and the first pitch to him will miss outside. Colbert, a couple of strikeouts in this ball game and a walk. He ended up scoring. That was scoring the first run for the T-Bolts back in the fourth. But on the season, a pair of home runs. Tied for the league lead in that category as he takes the 1-0 up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Coming into today's game, Colbert 7 for 21, good for a .333 average. And his 5 previous games, the 2-0 pitch missed down and away. And Hedgeka needing to be careful here. Has the base open over at first base. But with the left-handed hitting Cooper Williams coming to the plate. Williams, or I should say coming to the plate after Colbert, and coming to the plate now as 4 straight balls. We'll put Colbert on the base, or on first base, and Cooper Williams will come to the plate. Williams has popped out to third, grounded out to short, and walked. And he was eventually cut down at the plate on that RBI double from Ace Felder in the fourth. Three to 2 ball game. We're in the top of the 7th inning. T-Bolts threatening to increase their lead as a fastball will miss the outside corner.
Infield playing back here for the Dodgers, just looking for that out anywhere they can at third, second, or first as they're trying to get out of the top of the 7th inning, just trailing by 1.
1-0. Breaking ball that'll miss down low. Some action in the Dodger bullpen. Connor Reeves.
It's Christopher now going out to talk with his pitcher, Josh Hedgeka. Hedgeka worked a fairly easy 5th inning, but did allow the run to score on the balk. Then in the 6th, he gave up 2 singles, but was able to get out of it. Now again, 2 runners on base against Hedgeka. So he has not been able to get through an inning without a runner getting into scoring position as he's gone 2 2/3 so far. And she said Reeves warming in the pen. We'll see if this may be Hedgeka's last batter either way. So try to come back behind 2-0 to the designated hitter from the left side, Cooper Williams.
As the 2-0 pitch is fouled back to the backstop. 2 balls and 1 strike. I made a mistake. That's Mark Michael warming up. I saw 2-5. It's actually 3-5 down there. 2 balls and 1 strike on the designated hitter for the T-Bolts, Cooper Williams. And a very interesting pickoff move, and they're not going to call that a balk. As the throw to second base gets the runner. There's going to be some discussion here as to why that wasn't a balk, and that looked weird to me.
Well, it looks weird because he's the submariner, but it's the same move that Orioles reliever Darren O'Day pulls in the major leagues, where because you're pitching submarine and your first move is back towards second on almost every pitch, you can get away with that move because his natural movement is to go back towards second, and then you can just turn and throw, and it won't be a balk as Hedgeka gets himself out of the inning.
Yeah, well, that will do it. The Dodgers coming to bat, trying to get this one even. So we're going to the bottom of the 7th. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Dodgers coming to bat in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They're going to lead off with 4, 5, and 6. Connor Grove, Brandon McElwain, and Austin James scheduled to appear in the batter's box for the Dodgers against starter William Brown, still in the ballgame, and still nobody warming up. Another pop behind home plate, and with room and with the catch is Klepzig. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, I was going to say this is how the 5th inning started for the Dodgers when they scored 2 runs. It started off with Connor Grove, but he didn't pop out to the catcher that time. He lined a long double out to left center field, ended up coming around to score, so not exactly the same start, but the same set of hitters.
Brandon McElwain now standing in, taking the first pitch in there for a strike. And it looks like Brown's going to go the distance at this point in time. I haven't seen anybody even flinch towards going down that right field line to the bullpen for the T-Bolts, and McElwain looks a little bit silly on the off-speed delivery by Brown that time. No balls and 2 strikes. And the 0-2 taken by McElwain in the dirt, getting back in the count, a ball and 2 strikes now. Outfield straight away. We're in a 1-run ball game. And McElwain laces one into left center field. That's going to get down for base hit, and it's going to get through the outfielders, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. This could be 3 for McElwain as he hits second base, but it won't be as he holds up there at second. Big outfield here as that was hit about 20 feet to the right of the 280 sign. McElwain holding up at second base on 1-out double. But usually on balls like that in this stadium, you're going to see guys possibly getting that triple because the outfield is so big and those gaps are so wide. But a nice piece of hitting by McElwain. It's just the 3rd hit of the game for the Dodgers, but he's in scoring position for Austin James. And Austin James taking the first delivery up and in. Ball 1 ball, no strikes. McElwain, big lead out there on second, a swing and a miss. Ball looked to be elevated there on the outside corner. James still trying to, well, I don't want to say he was necessarily trying to pull it, but it looked like he was going for the pull there. And a fastball again at the letters, swung on and missed. James a little frustrated with himself, takes a step back, trying to compose before he steps back into the batter's box. James 0 for 1, walked and scored the second of the 2 Dodger runs. Fastball missed the inside corner, and T-Bolt's dugout wanting that one. Not getting it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tying run at second base with just 1 away. And the delivery. And a high fly ball deep to left, and you can change the number. It is 4-3 Dodgers. Austin James with a bomb to left field up into the evergreen trees. Gives the Dodgers the lead here in the bottom of the 7th.
Now, after that bomb, we talk about how it's a little difficult to hit the ball out here at Joe Cannon Stadium. Now, all I'm going to say is Austin James and Aaron Judge have the same initials and probably just hit the ball about the same exit velocity. And has anyone ever seen them in the same room is all I'm going to say there. The Dodgers take a 4-3 lead.
I have not, and that was an absolute shot. As now Shamoy Christopher will come to the plate.
Number 14, Shamoy Christopher.
Shamoy Christopher coming to the plate to try and top that, or at least mimic it, would be great. If he can hit it over into the trees on the right side, that would be great. As William Brown taking a moment, now he'll deliver to Christopher. And that one will miss up and away. Austin James on the 2-2 pitch, turning on it and hitting a no-doubter out to left. 1 ball, no strike, and Christopher absolutely trying to one-up James there. He was trying to hit it over those trees. As a huge swing and a miss by Christopher. They're leaving the count at 1-1. And he rolls one to the right side. There to pick it up is first baseman Fitzsimmons. He'll flip to Brown for the out. And 2 away now here in the 7th. Brian Tago will come to the plate.
The designated hitter from LaSalle University, number 15, Brian
So now Brian Tego will come to the plate. His last time up, he drove in the Dodgers' first 2 runs. An RBI double over the right fielder's head. Tego, the switch hitter from LaSalle, swinging and fouling one off the mask of Klepsig. Tego struggling at the plate so far this season. A couple of strikeouts in today's game, but coming in just 2 for 20. He takes the 0-1 pitch in there for a strike, no balls and 2 strikes.
But he does have the big hit so far before that 2-run homer was the 2 RBI double.
Very true. I don't know what I'm looking at. He has that double, and he has a fly out to center as he fouls off the 0-2. I'm sorry, I was looking down at the on-deck batter, Taj Porter, in the on-deck circle with a pair of strikeouts tonight. Brian Tego coming into the game just 2 for 20, but getting that big hit here tonight. 0 for 2 fouled away.
Porter is 0 for 2 with the 2 Ks, but he does have that run-saving leaping catch that looms very large right now. That could have been the 4th run for the T-Bolts, and we could have a tie game. But instead, he makes that catch. Big homer from James, and the Dodgers have a 4-3 lead.
0-2 pitch on the way to Tego. And he gets under one out in the right field. Going back is Rosedale. He gets under it, and he makes the catch. That's Ragsdale, not Rosedale. But that'll do it for the Dodgers. They take the lead on the 2-run shot by Austin James over the left field fence. We're heading to the 8th with the Dodgers ahead 4-2 or 4-3. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Now Cooper Williams will stand in the top of the 8th as the 5, 6, 7 batters try to get the T-Bolts back in this. Josh Hedgeka will remain on the mound. Cooper was at the plate at the end of last inning when Michael Fitzsimmons got picked off of second base. So he gets the lead off here with a fresh count. And a breaking ball, a slider in there for a strike. Williams maybe not ready for that. It was a good pitch there by Hedgeka. No balls and 1 strike. And the delivery, that one in the dirt. Leaving the count at a ball and a strike. Williams 0 for 2. Walked, was cut down at the plate, trying to score on the triple from Ace Felder. Fastball missed the outside corner. Hedgeka now in his 4th inning of work, just the 1 run allowed. 4 strikeouts and the 1-1. Almost hitting Williams with that one. And now 2 balls and 1 strike to count on the designated hitter for the T-Bolts. And now some action in the SS Tacoma bullpen and a strike on the outside corner. I thought it was 3 balls as Williams thought he was on his way to first. Scoreboard had 2-1. It was 3-1. Fastball on the outside corner, though, runs it full. Hedgeka trying to come all the way back here to get Williams. as he'll come set and he'll come home. And that's a fastball just missing the inside corner. One of those instances where the Dodgers were set up outside. Christopher was set up trying to get the ball in the outside corner, but he had to reach all the way across. He had to reach all the way across as Derek Brown coming out to get his pitcher. Let me finish that point before we go to break here, as he had to reach all the way across the strike zone. It might have caught the strike zone, but because he had to reach all the way across his body, maybe not getting the call. The new pitcher coming in for the Dodgers. We'll have him for you when we get back. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Back at Joe Cannon Stadium, a new pitcher for the Dodgers, Mark Michael out of King University. It's down in Tennessee, not King College. It's actually listed as King College on the roster, but apparently there was no option for King University to put in there. But it is King University. The Tornadoes, first delivery to his first batter is driven out into center field, but looks like Shelby's going to have room, and he makes the catch for out number one. Good piece of contact there by Jimmy Kane, who was the first batter that Michael faces. He flies out to center. Runner on first is an inherited runner. That runner belongs to Josh Hedgka, who exits the game after 3+ innings, 3 hits, a walk, that walk on first base, and 4 strikeouts. As Ace Felder will stand in, he squares the bunt and takes one on the outside corner for a strike. Felder, 2 for 3. A triple down the right field, or out in the right field, excuse me. I was going to say down the line, but it wasn't exactly down the line. But a triple and a single in today's game. And squaring the bunt here, but interesting. Obviously has some speed, but obviously also has some pop in that bat. The 0-1, swinging away, little pop-up over behind the Dodger dugout, and it's going to get out of play as both Christopher and Porter giving chase, and they run out of real estate. Dodgers lead this one by a score of 4-3 after the 2-run home run by Austin James. Austin James was a bit of a hero in last night's ball game, driving in a pair of runs in that game as well. So 4 RBIs in the last 2 games, the 0-2 pitch. And a little looper out in the left. Coming on is the left fielder, Ortega. He slides and makes the catch. A 24-carat play by Ortega out and left. And he keeps the runner over at first base. And 2 away here in the top half of the 8th.
That's a very tough play there for Ortega, even tougher than he made it look. He had to come all the way in towards the line and then slide back towards the field of play as he reached out to make the catch. Great play, and 2 down.
First delivery to Ragsdale in there for a strike. As we've seen this Dodger defense absolutely flashing the leather this season. And the 0-1 pitch swung on and missed.
Yeah, it's a beautiful pitch there from Mark Michael. I mean, he got the fastball in there for strike 1 right at the letters and then went with the breaking ball, completely fooled him. Ragsdale way out in front.
Michael, 1 strike away from getting the Dodgers to the bottom half of the inning, and he gets it, a swing and a miss by Ragsdale, and that'll do it for the T-Bolts here in the top of the 8th. Dodgers up 1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Bottom of the 8th inning, Baltimore Dodgers lead 4-3. New pitcher into the game for the T-Bolts. It's Hui-Sing Lin. Hui-Sing Lin from the National Taiwan Sports University, the Linko campus. Right-handed pitcher. As the T-Bolts actually 3 Taiwanese players. Taj Porter will stand in to face off against the new pitcher. And he'll hit one high into the air, out into shallow center field. Coming in is the center fielder, Felder. He calls everybody off, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting, second baseman from New Mexico State University, number 1, Joey Ortiz.
As Joey Ortiz stands in to face off against Lin. Lin making his first appearance for the T-Bolts this summer. William Brown's night is finished, obviously, as Ortiz awaits the first delivery. And a fastball, a lot of heat behind that one, but missing outside. William Brown went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, walked 1, struck out 6, and the 4 runs on the board for the Dodgers are earned and are his. It's a foul ball by Ortiz, evens count at a ball and a strike. Lynn, nothing but fastballs to this point. And he's definitely got some velocity behind the ones he's thrown as he delivers the 1-1. And that's a breaking pitch, and Ortiz way out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Dodger second baseman. Ortiz flown out twice and popped out. Hasn't hit the ball on the ground yet. Not typical of a leadoff hitter. You want to see them beat it down in the ground. Think Willie Mays Hayes from Major League. The 1-2 chops one down the first baseline, and it is just foul. And good thing for Ortiz, as Fitzsimmons was right there to pick it up and step on the bag. So he's still alive. A ball and 2 strikes. Broke his bat. So he had to reach out for that one, hit it off the end of the bat. And it's going to be mulch here shortly.
I think that's the first broken bat we've seen this season at Joe Cannon Stadium.
It's impressive considering it's a wood bat league. Major League, essentially Major League Baseball prep league. It's a sanctioned league by Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball rules. 1-2 pitch on the way. And again, reaching for it and fouling it away. As I said, Lynn impressive with the heater. So Ortiz just fighting to stay alive.
A good AB here, but to make it count as a good one, you got to finish it by getting on base.
1-2 pitch on the way. And he gets a hold of this one, but it's going to drop into the glove of Stonehouse out there and left. Maybe didn't get as much of it as I thought. He kind of barreled it up, but he also reached for it a little bit. So Stonehouse did have to come in to make the catch, but another fly out. And a fly out to every single outfielder for Ortiz as Nick Ortega standing in.
I blame the new bat on that one. Definitely a new bat.
It didn't have enough pop. It's the first delivery to Ortega in there for a strike. More action for the Dodgers down in their pen. So we're going to be heading to the 9th with hopefully more than a 1-run lead, but at least that. The 0-1 is outside for a ball. Edwin Lopez warming up. 1-1 pitch. And that missing outside. Now, Mark Michael, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive inning. I'd be inclined to stay with him.
I think you got to send him back out there.
The 2-1 pitch on the way. That one just missing a little bit low.
I mean, he got the 2 flyouts with good pitches up in the zone, but then that final AB against Chase Ragsdale, I mean, he just overpowered him with some fastballs and then made him look silly with a breaking pitch.
3-ball, 1-strike count in there for a strike. 3-2 now the count on Ortega. And Lopez has actually struggled a little bit out of the pen his last couple outings. 3-2 pitch will miss inside, and the Dodgers have a base runner here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As Jaron Shelby will come to the plate.
From the State College of Florida, number 30, Jaron Shelby.
Now, the Dodgers do have the lead, but in their last home game, we saw the same kind of scenario, 1-run lead into the 9th, and they couldn't hold it. So, going to look for some insurance here.
Well, to be fair, in that game, I think it was almost a karma type of thing, as they didn't really deserve to get their run, so they gave up that 1 run, which they didn't deserve to really give up in that last innings. The runner goes from first, and a foul ball by Shelby.
Yeah, if you remember in the bottom of the 8th inning in that 1-1 game last week against the Aces, with a runner on first and 2 down, a fly ball was dropped in right field. The run coming around to score to give the Dodgers the lead, 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th, but then they would give up a run in the top of the 9th that would tie the game at 2, and then the Aces would score 5 in the top half of the 10th and win it 7-2. That was the first loss here, first and only loss here at Joe Cannon Stadium for the Dodgers so far this season.
And a ground ball towards the hole, and unable to get it is Colbert as it goes into left field for a base hit. Trying to throw behind the runner is the left fielder Stonehouse. Ball getting past the second baseman, Zhu, but backing up on the play is Fitzsimmons. The runner's now at first and second with 2 away. So first hit of the ball game for Shelby. Connor Grove with a double back in the 5th. And hopefully he can duplicate that feat here. The first delivery to Grove. Wow, that corner not there this time. As Grove taking one off that outside corner for ball 1. Hits one high out in the left field. Stonehouse coming in, but going out is Colbert. He misjudges it for a second, but he's able to adjust back to make the catch, and that's going to do it for the Dodgers in the 8th. And we'll see who's coming out. Looks like Michael's back out on the mound to try and close things out for the Dodgers. They're going to try and hold a 1-run lead as we head to the 9th. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Mark Michael out to try and close things out after a strong inning of work in the 8th. He's going to face off against Chen Zhu. And then the top of the order for the T-Bolts, who are going to try and get back into this. Haven't scored since the 5th inning, and the Dodgers are going to try and keep it that way. As Zhu 0 for 2, he did walk once. And waits the first delivery from Michael, and that's a fastball that missed way outside. Taj Porter even with the bag at third base, guarding against a potential bunt. You want to get the tying run on base any way you can. A breaking ball catching the plate for a strike. 1-1. Zhu kind of bailing out there. But it's in there for a strike. As the 1-1 will miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. For King University, Michael was actually mostly a starter this year. 6 starts out of his 8 appearances. He had 1 complete game. As now Shamoy Christopher out to speak with his pitcher. 5.4 K per 9. Not the best ERA, 7.09. But he does throw a lot of strikes. Just 5 walks in his 26 2/3 innings pitched this spring.
Yeah, and really so far so good. His first appearance out of the pen this year for the Dodgers, and they're really putting a lot on his shoulders in his first appearance. He comes in the 8th with a 4-3 lead that the Dodgers just got in the last half inning, trying to protect it. And well, he is behind here, the leadoff hitter, but so far so good.
Now just think about Sikowski in his first game with the Dodgers. And a Ichiro-ish swing as Shu steps out of the box and tries to slash the other way, but fouls it away. It'll even count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Michael, a 2014 All-MIAA player in high school, will deliver the 2-2. And a swing and a miss, one away in the top of the ninth.
Now that was a nasty pitch. He was going with the fastball. They were being fouled off. And then a nice little changeup right there. A little bit of tailing action away from the left-hander, but not much of it. Mostly a Bugs Bunny changeup there from Michael, and just got the hitter way out in front. His second consecutive strikeout, and Dodgers are 2 outs away.
As the top of the order, Garrett Stonehouse will come to the plate.
Whenever I say Bugs Bunny changeup, I'm always afraid people listening won't know what I mean. A Bugs Bunny changeup, that's a straight change, no movement on it, just fooling the hitter with a change of speed.
And a line drive out in the left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Ortega up with it, quickly getting it in to keep the runner Stonehouse at first base.
Now batting. Catcher. University of Mississippi, number 20. Carson.
And now Carson Klepsig will come to the plate. Klepsig with a double back in the fifth, scored a run. Takes a fastball off the inside corner for a ball, and Christopher out to talk to his pitcher again. So, again, Michael not typically known for having control issues, but maybe Christopher and him not on the same page. Obviously, working in summer ball is a little different than working in college. You get to see these guys all the time in college versus, this is the first time that Michael's throwing to Christopher, so maybe trying to get on the same page here. It's the second visit in the first 3 batters. The 1-0. Chopper towards the hole, and it's going to get through for a base hit. And runners are going to go station to station as Stonehouse will stop at second base, and that is the tying run out there at second. Consecutive base hits to the left side as Michael Fitzsimmons will come to the plate. Michael Fitzsimmons is going to get some direction from Coach Doug Reamer over at third base. Dodgers still with action down in the bullpen. It looks like a different pitcher warming up. It was Ed Lopez earlier. But now is Brandon Hicks. That can't be right. I've got to check that number again because he started yesterday's ball game, went 4 innings. First delivery. Breaking ball just missing. Where did that miss? Had to be low because it looked like it got a lot of the plate. That's 32, not 42, warming up for the Dodgers. That's Jack Chaney.
Would be another guy making his first appearance as a Dodger this year if he comes in the ballgame.
And a fly ball out into right center field. Shelby's got it tracked. He makes the catch, tagging, going to third base, and he's going to get in easily as runner at second base, Stonehouse. So tying run at third base with 2 away now. Dodgers just 1 out away from victory here. As Carl Colbert will stand in.
Now batting. From South Carolina, Buford, number 2. Carl Colbert.
Well, Colbert so far, he's had 2 of the 3 true outcomes. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 4 plate appearances.
Well, let's hope he has that, strikeout outcome. An off-speed pitch, missed the outside corner. You have to be very, very careful here now with those off-speed pitches in the dirt. We saw a few wild pitches in this game that have allowed runners to advance. We haven't seen one that has allowed a runner to score. The 1-0 pitch, fastball missed the outside corner. Again, Cooper Williams is on deck, left-handed hitter. So as a righty, you want to get the righty right here.
Yeah, Williams also a guy, though, without a hit on the day, but he does, just as Colbert has drawn 2 walks.
2-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. Good pitch by Michael. Colbert taking all the way on a fastball that actually caught a lot of that plate, probably inner half. Michael not paying a lot of attention to the runner on first, since the idea is you want to get the batter here. And that's in the dirt. Great block there by Christopher, as that pitch was spiked. And that was not an easy block by Christopher. That wasn't one of the ones that drops right behind home plate and you can just smother. That one actually bounced out in front of home plate. Very difficult play for the catcher.
Yeah, it was curling towards the left-handed batter's box. Great job by Christopher, not just to keep it in front, but keep it close enough in front to keep the runner at first base, Klepsig, right there.
3-1 now the count on Colbert and the delivery. It's a fastball just missing that inside corner. That inside corner is not kind to anyone today. And a walk. And that'll load the bases here for the T-Bolts with Cooper Williams coming to the plate.
So he had a little leeway, little wiggle room there. He could issue the walk. However, there is a base open at second. However, now there's two in scoring position, so a single would have tied it. Now, single probably gives the T-Bolts the lead, but now can work out of the windup against Williams.
And a fastball is going to miss the outside corner by a good margin. The problem here working out of the windup, I guess it's not as big a deal, but the runner over at first base and Cara Colbert is getting an absolutely gigantic secondary lead, so any extra base hit is most likely going to score 3. And a hit batter as the ball hits the leg of Cooper Williams, and coming in to score Garrett Stonehouse. And that's going to tie things up 4-4 here in the top of the 9th inning. Unable to close things out is Mark Michael.
Yeah, you could see Michael just a little bit losing his control to the last two batters. He spiked a couple breaking balls, and then right there he lost the breaking ball again to the glove side and hits off the leg of the righty, and now the game is tied, and now he's got to worry about getting out of this inning with the game still tied.
And a chopper towards third. This is going to be a tough play for Porter, and Porter throws it away. Coming in to score from third was Klepsig. In from second is Colbert, and a 2-run lead now for the T-Bolts. That'll probably go down as a single and an error, as it was a very difficult play. Kane possibly beating that out anyway, but the error allowing the runner Colbert to score from second base. And the Dodgers now trail by 2. Score of 6-4.
Yeah, I'd agree with that scoring right there. It was going to be a very bang-bang play at first base, whether or not Kane could run it out on the throw there from third base by Porter, but it sails over the head. So you give him the hit, and then the error allows the runners to all advance one base.
As now Ace Felder will stand in, and a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Now the name of the game is limiting the damage. The Dodgers have scored 2 runs twice in this ball game, a swing and a miss by Felder. 2 runs in an inning twice in this ball game, and they've got their 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up, one of which, Austin James, already has a home run in the game. No ball, 2-strike count to Felder, and he asks for time, and it is granted.
That's a late call on the time right there. I mean, Michael was just about to go into his wind and deliver the pitch when time was granted. So iffy call there by the umpire. But Mark Michael just looking to get this final out, get out of this inning and get the Dodgers some semblance of chance to tie the game in the bottom of the 9th.
The 0-2. Lined up the middle. Sliding stop there by James. And that will retire the side as he goes to second and gets the force out on the runner Kane. The Dodgers surrender 3 runs and the lead. They trail this one 6-4 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. David Bellamy is going to hit for Brandon McElwain. McElwain a double his last time. I guess looking to get that lefty-righty matchup here. On deck, who we thought was going to be the hero of today's game, Austin James. He still can be. If Bellamy can get on here, James can duplicate what he did the last time. So that's what we're looking for right here in the bottom half of the ninth inning as the Dodgers trail this one by 2. New pitcher in for the T-Bolts, and I'll let you know who he is after his first delivery, which is a strike to Bellamy. Devin Rivera Ozuna from Coppin State, which means he's absolutely at home on this pitching mound. The 0-1 delivery to Bellamy in there for a strike.
Yeah, Joe Cannon Stadium, not only the home to the Baltimore Dodgers, but that's in the summer. In the spring, home to the Coppin State Eagles baseball program. And as you said, Ozuna pitching on the mound that I'm sure he pitched on a lot this spring.
The 0-2 pitch on the way to Bellamy. And a little fister into foul territory. Going over to third baseman Kane. He's got room. He makes the catch. 1 away.
Talk about Ozuna this season for Coppin State. It was his sophomore year. He made 10 appearances. 8 of them were starts, so obviously did get a good amount of time on this mound. In 36 innings, he had a 5.25 ERA, gave up 41 hits, 21 earned runs. He struck out 18, but the problem was the control there. He didn't really strike out a lot of guys, and 28 walks in 36 innings.
That's certainly an alarming number, and actually bodes or lends itself to taking a lot of pitches. But he's throwing strikes here tonight, as he's thrown nothing but strikes. His first delivery to Austin James in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike, and a breaking ball that called a strike. James in a little bit of disagreement there. I think he thought that was a little low. He's got to compose himself and step out so he can reset for the 0-2. Shamoy Christopher in the on-deck circle for the Dodgers.
Going to need some home and road splits on Ozuna. Maybe all those walks came on the road, and he feels pretty comfortable here on the mound at Joe Cannon Stadium.
0-2 pitch on the way. On the outside corner, down goes James, looking 2 away. Dodgers down to their last out after what looked like a promising 9th inning.
Yeah, that outside corner that I've talked about has been a little extended to the right-handed hitters. The umpire, it's been a weird strike zone with the extension on each side, but he's been consistent of where the strike has been, and he called another one right there to punch out James.
And Christopher not really letting himself get introduced. He was ready to go. He was in the batter's box as his walk-up music was playing. He was ready to go. He's in the box again after swinging and missing at the first pitch. Maybe ready to get out of here.
Has it been 7 strikes for Ozuna so far?
I believe so. And get a check. Did he go? He did not. That's the first ball, I do believe. You are correct.
Ozuna very close there to being 1 pitch away from the immaculate inning. That's 9 pitches and 3 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 inning, but Christopher didn't go far enough.
And he did that time as he swings and misses at the breaking pitch. One ball.
Forgot there was a pop out to third base over there. Well, he was close to the 9-pitch inning, which is
still 9 pitches.
Still,
1 ball, 2 strikes the count on Christopher. Last strike for the Dodgers, potentially, is Christopher choking up on the bat. And here comes the delivery. Chops it foul over by Juan Waters over in the first base coaching box. And that's going to send a T-Bolt player. It's Wei Sing Lin down to get the foul ball over in the corner. Christopher still alive. Awaits the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Drop third strike. He gets tagged out, and that's going to do it for the Dodgers. A pair of strikeouts in the 9th for Rivera. The Dodgers, as Mark Michael actually going out to the mound there. I think he thought there was another inning, but unfortunately there's not. The Dodgers dropped this one by a score of 6-4. We'll be back with a quick wrap-up in just a minute. This is Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Back here at Joe Cannon Stadium after the Dodgers fall by a score of 6-4 to the SS Tacoma T-Bolts. Connor, it looked like they had it. They were up going into the ninth by 1 after a 2-run home run by Austin James, and they just couldn't close it out.
Yeah, James got the big hit, and then really even bigger than the home run was you go to the 8th inning, you bring Hedgeka back out there, he walks the leadoff batter, you bring in Mark Michael making his first appearance of the year, and he gets 3 consecutive outs. You're feeling good. I mean, we both agreed in here, you bring him out for the 9th inning, how well he was pitching, and he even got 2 outs without allowing the run, but loaded up the bases with 2 outs, and then the hit by pitch and the single with the error allowed 3 runs to score, and the Dodgers, again, they've done enough in the early innings, but they can't quite hold on. They lose it 6-4, fall to 2-6 on the season, and the T-Bolts go to 3-4. They snap their own 3-game losing streak.
And get you the final stats here. Mark Michael, 2 innings, 3 runs. Those 3 runs that 3 hits, I should say, 3 runs that scored, only 2 earned. Walk 2. The hit batter was huge, as you mentioned. And the 2 strikeouts, he gets the loss. Winning pitcher for the T-Bolts, Hui Sing Lin. 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs, a walk. And Rivera comes in, pitches a strong 9th inning, gets the save for the T-Bolts. The Dodgers' next game, back here at home. They are off tomorrow, back here at home on Wednesday against the Herndon Braves. Final score here from Joe Cannon Stadium. It is the T-Bolts 6, the Dodgers 4. For Connor Newcomb, I'm Rob Stadnick. We'd like to thank you for listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball.